Hey guys, Ash from Off-Grid Mojo with an update on the electrical refit that I told you about the other day. I did tell you I was going to put all the RCDs into this blue electrical box. It just proved too difficult to do it because I've already got a bunch of stuff in here and it's messy enough as it is, and it just seemed to be a lot easier on me to stick it all inside a little grey compartment enclosure that I got from JCar, which I had lying around from a long time ago when I thought I was some kind of bloody circuit master and solder master doing all these wonderful projects from Indian people online through YouTube, things like oh, we can enhance your mobile Wi-Fi, that sort of thing. So I invested in a bunch of stuff. Anyway, none of it worked, but I did get some cool little things like this thing here. So just give you a bit of a closer squiz there. Yeah, sorry to profile people there, guys, but it was 5 or 6 different Indian guys saying that you know, follow this tutorial and you can get a better signal on your phone. Wow. I wish I had read the comments down below, because there was a lot of chagrined people, so to speak. Lots of swear words, lots of animosity towards these 5 or 6 Indians. So anyway, I still got a bunch of circuitry stuff. This little number here was one of them. I've put it up on a bit of a shelf. I have got a cover for it. Whether or not I put the cover on remains to be seen, because I've got a bunch of holes in the top already for these leads to go through and go into the RCDs, as you can see. And for me to put the cover on, I need a bunch more holes coming out the fascia of the thing, which is just going to, you know, make it a lot harder to get in there when I want to get in there. So the reason I've put it on this little bit of closed cell foam here is, if there is ever a flood in here again, I doubt very much that the water was probably 1 mil or 2 mil high when I ripped this wall off, and it was, you know, there's just no way that there's ever going to be that kind of a leak. I mean, that was one massive 5 kilogram bag of ice that melted, and I just think I just didn't put the bung plug in properly on the Waco. Maybe there was a bit of grit, like a little sand granule in there, and over a week and a half or 2 weeks or whatever, it just slowly leaked out, and the whole bag of ice was empty. There was barely any water left in the fridge at all, and there was probably 2 mil of water around this area here. So I'm confident with that. I haven't really cleaned this up inside. I'm going to come back tomorrow and do that. As you can see, there's still a gazillion wires around, but this has taken me a fair chunk of the day to do this, because getting this electrical compartment, see how it's sort of horizontal there in relation to the length of the semi-trailer. I have to disconnect a gazillion wires and then jerry it and, you know, push, pull, and then get it vertical, slide it out. Oh, it's an absolute nightmare. So I've disconnected a bunch of things, I've hooked all that up, and now I have to, this is back in place now. It was over here before so I could work on it. Now I've connected everything back up, except a few things which I couldn't connect up until this was back in this area here where the hinge door is. If I connected everything up over here, well, I just wouldn't have been able to do it because my cables don't go that long. So anyway, guys, that's where it is. Yeah, alright. Hey, blue tongue lizard has come to pay me a visit. I had my back to him, and I heard this scraping sound, and I thought it was like an empty chip packet or some rubbish being blown in by the wind into the storage shed, but no. It's a bloody massive blue tongue lizard, mate. Have a look at him. Sorry for the shaking. I haven't got the gimbal in because this all just happened like 2 seconds ago. There he is. I think he might have come in to get out of the heat. It's quite hot here today. Anyway, I'm gently trying to persuade him to get out, but he's quite content where he is. Alright, mate. I have got the polycarbonate sheets. I wanted them to be 3.5 meters long, but the issue with Bunnings is that they would have been a special order item, and I would have been waiting anywhere minimum of probably 3 weeks. So I didn't want to wait that long. So they had a couple of 3 meter ones, well, more than a couple. I could only afford 2 today. 3 meters long by 980 wide and 10 mil thick, which is obviously a centimetre, which is absolutely perfect for what I need. You see there, it's quite thick. So what I'm going to do here today, I've just snuck down to bring these down here. I'm not going to do much work on it today. Today is Saturday, something the 4th of November or whatever, December. I'm just going to mark it out with the old black flute, which is over here in an absolute mess. I kept it for this very reason. There's the other sheet of polycarbonate there, which will be the bottom section. And this section here I'm going to mark out with that black flute, and then Monday I will come back and cut that out and start applying it. Also some good news, the portholes came, 3 of, and from Bunnings I needed to get M5, I don't know if you see that, M5 35 millimeter long bolts and nuts. So that will do all those 3. So these 2 of them will be, one will be either side of this area here and over the other side. So at night when I'm in bed I can sort of look out. They will have a homemade insect screen on them that I'll make myself. And I'll also use some of the leftover Morwell that I have to create some night visors that just plock right in there, which will be sweet. So that's where that is. So I'll mark it out and see you in a sec. Okay, I've marked out the polycarbonate sheet, but it was really difficult to try and hold it in place and check the mark that I did. So what I'm going to do is, when I come back on Monday, I'm going to cut out this bottom section first of one of the pieces of polycarbonate. I'm going to zip tie it into place and do everything I need to do to it. I've also got to cut out a hole for it for the porthole before I stick it up, because when I come to do the wrap I want that hole already done. I don't want to be cutting through polycarbonate with a wrap on it because it may go sideways. Pardon me. So also what I've done is I've come around and put a heap more of these automatic adjustable buckles. I've put them all over. The mistake I made when I first did this is I put some of them on, but I hadn't put enough on, and then I tried to come in once all the walls were done, and it was an absolute pain. So I'm making sure this time that I've gone overkill. I've got way too many in there, but you never know. You know, they may come in handy for something. So anyway, that's what's going to happen. I'm going to come in on Monday, and I'm going to cut the bottom sheet of polycarbonate first, and then I'm going to cut the hole for the porthole out of it. I've got to lay the template, that's thing that goes on the outside. So how they look is this section here. Oh, sorry. This section here with the twist things, that actually faces inside, and this side comes out, and you see that funny weird thing there? That's where all the water comes out. And then this thing here goes over all of that, and that's where these little bolts and nuts go around that. So I'll be sikaflexing all of that into place, obviously, and I'm going to use this as my guide to cut the hole for the, or actually no, it'd be better to do that because there's a bit of girth there, isn't there? Yeah, I'll figure it out. So once I've done that, I'll put all that into place, zip tie it in, and then I'll come in with the other piece of polycarbonate that I marked out, and I'll rest that on top of the other one, because they're both 980, and 980, it finishes off just about here somewhere. But this thing is down on an angle. It's higher up this end, and then it goes down, 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 ever so slightly. So I may need to come in, because what I want to do is, once the first one's in, I want to sit the second one on top, and then check my markings, and if there's any stuff that needs to be fixed, I can just do that then with the mark. I hope that's going to be easier that way. And then obviously I'll run a bit of tape, I'll zip tie all that in, I'll run a nice bit of tape right across through the join, and also, but before I do the tape, I want to make it so I can have a hole through the top sheet of polycarbonate and a hole through the bottom, and then have a zip tie just going through the two. So when I end up running the bit of tape through here, I'm also covering up those zip ties, if you catch my meaning. Alright guys, I'm out of here now. Got to get back. The battery's charged up enough. As I said before, it's Saturday, so I'll be back on Monday and getting stuck into it. And then in another 2 weeks time or whatever, I'll have the other sheets of polycarbonate and I'll do the other side. Unfortunately, I cannot, I'm a bit embarrassed at the moment to take it out on the road. When the black flute was all on there, because it was all warped, and I was a bit embarrassed, so I'm not going to take this for any long journeys until all the new stuff is done. That's the new polycarbonate walls, not so much the installation, but the portholes are done and the wrap and my graphics put on there. And then I'll be comfortable to hit the road. And I'm hoping my next journey will be to Phillip Island from here, because I've got to go and visit a mate who's been asking me to go over there and help him attach some of this EVA foam to a ceiling, inside ceiling of his Jaguar, also known as Jaguar, obviously. And it's sort of a two-person job, so be getting over there to visit him, and obviously I'll be doing a lot of video over there. Phillip Island's a beautiful place. If you guys from overseas ever get a chance to come over here, hit me up and I'll take you for a tour around Phillip Island. And then Wilson's Prom's also a good one, and Tara Bulga National Park. Tara Bulga National Park is kind of like the cousin of Wilson's Promontory, but instead of ocean, it has a little river creek thing running through it and waterfalls, and mate, it is like Jurassic Park. Whenever I go there, and I take my son a lot up there as well, we play the Let's Spot the Velociraptor game, and occasionally we see a little a lyrebird run across the road, and that was how we coined the phrase Velociraptor, and also how it looks like Jurassic Park. We're talking 4 or 5 story ferns in this place, and huge trees, and the wildlife is just incredible. I mean, you can hear the lyrebirds making chainsaw noises, and the old cameras, you know, as they're doing the film or whatever, they do all those noises as well. It's pretty cool. Alright guys, see you soon. I had to cover up the side without the wall on because it started raining here. It's amazing Melbourne weather. It can rain for like 5 minutes and then like not a cloud in the sky. It's quite something. Anyway, I don't know how well you can see that, but I have attached the old black flute guide / template on there. Now if this rain holds out, I'll take this blanket off and I'll hold this up to in general the area where I'm gonna mark it. But before I mark it, I want, and the good thing is this is see-through. This polycarbonate sun tough sunlight is see-through, so I'll be able to make sure that how I've got it is going to actually be in place properly, and if not, I'm going to have to come through and fix it up a bit. I know I said that I was going to go with a matte army green,
Well, pardon me, I've kind of changed my mind because I found like a metallic green, as you can see in this picture here, and I just fell in love with it. So I'm going to go with something like that. Whether I have that massive off-grid Mojo label in the middle remains to be seen, and I could change the graphics a little bit there, but it definitely will be the metallic green wrap because I've already ordered it and it's on its way. So, pardon me, that's what that will be, and hopefully that'll look pretty cool. Um, I also wanted to just say quickly, guys. I've had a few when I'm out on the road and I'm riding from place to place, and I'm in the shoulder on the side of the road riding. There's been a few people that have stopped and have wanted to talk to me in a shoulder, and I've had to keep going for safety reasons. It's not a great place to stop, and my rig garnishes a lot of attention, and I don't want to. It's bad enough me being in a shoulder on a road, and quite frankly, I don't want to be there doing it. But I just don't have a choice at the moment because the South Gippy Shire Council are just not coming to the table to give me a key for the padlocks for the gates for the Great Southern Rail Trail. So at this point in time, I am stuck with being in the shoulder of the road, much to the dismay of a lot of people. So yeah, I don't mean to be rude, guys. I'd love to stop and talk to everyone, but it's just too dangerous. Yeah, I don't know how else to do it. I guess I could stop really quick and go, look, I'm going to go to this campsite here. If you're really that interested, meet me there. But it's not safe to stop. But anyway, I'll start with saying it on here. So, if anyone's watching that sees me out on the road, please don't stop in the shoulder to try and have a chat to me. If you see that I'm going to be going for a fair way down a road, keep going and find a safe place to pull over where there's a lot of room, like a rest stop or just somewhere where there's enough room. Even a driveway, like a dirt road driveway or something is better than the shoulder of a highway. Thanks guys. Thanks for watching. Ciao for now.